Welcome back to the year 1987 as we continue our look at the Visionaries toy line by Hasbro. In our last episode, we looked at Arzon and we learned that he, along with his fellow Spectral Knight Ektar, are considered the most trustworthy by their leader, Leoric. Leoric, a brave and regal knight, has been chosen to rebuild the medieval-like society of New Vallorak. And today, we'll be taking a look at the Spectral Knight Leoric, here on Creed's Collection. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Creed's Collection. Today we are looking at Leoric, the leader of the heroic Spectral Knights. In addition to being the leader of the Spectral Knights, Leoric is also the ruler of the city of New Vallorak, and was chosen personally by the wizard Marklam to participate in the challenge that bestowed him with his magical powers, along with the other Spectral Knights and Darkling Lords. Leoric's mystical personality is the Lion, a creature symbolizing Leoric's noble birth and courageous leadership abilities. And now that we've learned a little bit about Leoric's personality and background, let's go ahead and take a closer look. So one of the first things I noticed right away is that, much like Arzon, Leoric's helmet is kind of ill-fitting. And here he is without the helmet. And as we scroll down, you can see his hologram on the front there, which we'll come back to and take a closer look at shortly. Now, I really like Leoric's color scheme, but just like all Visionaries, he's got some really strange costume details that don't really make a lot of sense to me. Like, for example, what are these leg straps doing? I mean, they're not connected to anything. They're not holding anything up. They are completely pointless. I guarantee you the designer of this drew them and was like, oh, that looks cool, and that was it. And then on his back, it appears that he has some kind of control panel or wiring, but the world of Prismos is supposed to be devoid of technology, so I don't get that one either. But it's okay, because I'm very forgiving of this toy line since I like it so much. And maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty sure when they sculpted this guy, they used Clark Gable as an inspiration. And now we're going to take a closer look at the hologram. With a name like Leoric, you should not be surprised that his mystical personality is the Lion. This hologram is held up pretty well. It does have a slight bit of damage to it, as you can see here up close, but overall, it still looks pretty good. Now we're going to take a look at Leoric's included accessories. This is his whip. It's made out of rubber, it's quite flexible, and actually has some nice little detail on it. If you look at the handle, there's some nice texturing that actually makes it look like a handle. Here's Leoric's staff, and as I've mentioned before, only the carded Visionaries figures came with staves. Otherwise, they came with a vehicle, much like Ektar and the Lancer Cycle. The two holograms on his staff are the Unicorn for the Spectral Knights and the Owl for Wisdom. You know, I think Arzon would benefit from a little wisdom. He's always asking Knowledge really stupid questions. Hey, Knowledge, what's the weather going to be like tonight? Really? Another weather question? Arzon, did you really just ask him the weather again? Well, yeah, because I'm supposed to be going clubbing with Man-at-Arms and Jackal-Man later. Now, once again, just like Kravex, unfortunately, Leoric cannot hold his staff. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't jam it into his hand, especially this one. It looks like it almost fits. But with a figure this old, I'm not risking breaking a thumb. Here's a close-up look at Leoric's helmet. It kind of reminds me of Magneto's helmet from the X-Men, and it's made out of rubber. And that's why when you put it on his head, it kind of bows out on the sides and looks a little weird. But that's alright, it's still a pretty good accessory. And now we'll cover Visionaries articulation. They have bendable knees that go to about a 90-degree angle. Their hips also move back and forth. They have a rubber band waist, which allows some pivot and flexibility. Their shoulders go up and out, and they also swivel at the forearm. And last but not least, they have a ball joint head. And that covers all the articulation on Visionaries. Leoric's copyright information is printed on his backside. 1987 Hasbro, made in China. And here's Leoric's file card. If you'd like to read it, go ahead and pause now. And now for our He-Man size comparison. As you can see, Visionaries figures aren't a whole lot shorter than Masters of the Universe, but they are a lot skinnier. And there's no doubt in my mind that Leoric and He-Man would become fast friends, both having honorable warrior backgrounds. Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my toy review for Leoric from the 1987 toy line, Visionaries by Hasbro. I didn't actually get Leoric until 1988. It was when the Visionaries figures were on clearance and they were kind of just pushing through them to get rid of them. I remember being really excited when I saw him, and I asked my mom if I could get him, and she agreed. I really wanted to find more of them on clearance, but at that point it was just pegs and pegs of Leorics, and it was the last time I ever saw Visionaries for sale in a store. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you have any thoughts, please leave a comment. I love reading and responding to them. And while you're at it, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it, and it would help my channel grow. I review a toy for my vintage collection every Wednesday, so hope to see you next week and every week after, here on Creed's Collection.